on? All right, we're on. Wayne Allyn Roots, War Now. Hello, Las Vegas. We're on 790 Talk Now in Vegas, #1 afternoon drive time show in this town with a bullet. Show is exploding. We're on 98.1 FM in Palm Springs. We got two great guests in the show, and I've been waiting a while to get them on because we've spoken on email, and they're such great people, such a cool couple, and a beautiful couple. Marklen Kennedy and Carey Kennedy are here with us today, and they are in the restaurant business. They are in the TV production business. Carey was a movie star in some major movies, but now you're just the greatest mom in the world. Is that right?
Thank you. Yes, that's right.
That's right.
I have two kids, and they're a lot of work. I'll tell you that much. It's the hardest job I've ever had.
Before I get to Marklen, how did you ever wean yourself off of being an actress? Because most actresses, it's about ego, and they want to stay on the screen. And you gave that up to be a full-time mom? Is that true?
I think that was a lot of my fault. I think it was a lot of my fault by telling her that you should get out here into Las Vegas. This will change your life, and we're going to get married and have babies. So I take the blame for all that. But look at us now.
I really wanted kids. I wanted them so badly, and I had wanted them my whole entire life. And to me, that was more important. So it superseded my career.
All right. So your career, what do we? There's some movies that we should know about that you were in. What would be big names that we would know about?
Well, the biggest one is the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. It came out a while ago, but it's a great movie.
I know the movie,
so
except
fun.
I didn't watch it. So now I'm going to have to go home and watch it. So what part did you play? Were you his girlfriend?
I played Nina. I was a groupie. No, not his girlfriend. Just a good friend, like a groupie. And I had my partner girlfriend. And we sort of, not partner, but, like my best friend. And we sort of helped out to get his career launched.
Groupie, is that like Chelsea Handler, like a liberal slut? Is that was that your part?
No.
No, you weren't the liberal slut in the movie?
You cannot compare me to her ever.
I don't mean in real life. I'm not trying to offend you. I don't mean in real life. I meant in the movie, were you the part of like a liberal girl who got, screws every rock star of the whole movie? Was that kind of the part you played?
Well,
because that's what groupie connotes.
Yeah, it sounds better that way.
Just say yeah. Say yeah.
I'd say I was probably a groupie, not the liberal part.
You're a conservative
How about
groupie.
that?
A conservative groupie. A Trump-supporting groupie.
Yes.
Trump
through and through.
There weren't a lot of those.
Her Rockstar film is still, to this day, one of the greatest movies that have been made. And I was recently playing at a Navy SEAL golf tournament and got one-upped by her because the people that were there that were playing in this concert, I didn't know who everybody was. And it started off that they were warming up playing some ZZ Top. And after they finished, I go, God, you guys are pretty good. Like, you should be in a band. Then they introduced him.
They were ZZ Top?
No, it was Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden. It was Sean Drover from Megadeth.
Oh.
It was
it's like a
Tim
band.
Ripper from Judas Priest.
Got it.
And so whenever it started going, the movie Rockstar was based off Tim Ripper, who was in Judas Priest. And so I'm telling them the story, and Sean Drover from Megadeth, he goes, wait a second, your wife is Nina? And I go, yeah. He goes, my wife's not going to believe this. I've got to call her right now and tell her that I'm playing with the guy married. And so my wife upstaged me when she wasn't even there from a movie that she was in that she doesn't even like to talk about.
And now you have two kids? Yeah.
We have two kids.
Which are aged?
Aged 9 years old is our daughter. Her name's Barbecue, and she just turned 9.
Where did you get Barbecue from?
Barbecue.
That is such a Hollywood name. That's like a Gwyneth Paltrow name, Barbel.
I like to say it was because of me being from Texas and everything out there. If we have gravy in a bowl with a straw, that's a good beverage there. But where it kind of came from on my side of the story is when we were in delivery at the hospital, the nurse said to me about, oh, you're the funny guy because you're nervous, you're having a kid. And they said, once you have a kid, the humor goes out of a relationship. And I go, well, I'm just going to name my kid some jacked up name and then I'll laugh all the way. And so I said, I'm going to call her Barbecue, but they wouldn't let me legally put it on the birth certificate.
What did you have to put on the birth certificate?
Alexa. Because of Carey, because Carey wanted to have a real normal name.
First of all, I have 4 kids, and I have found that the real name doesn't matter. It's only the nickname that people call them that matters.
Yeah.
So Barbecue is probably called Bar by everyone, right? Bar.
Q.
Oh, Q. Q. All right, so Q's cool. And
everybody
Bar's
calls
cool.
her Q. My parents, they call her Q. Everybody calls her Q.
All right, cool. And your son is
the boy,
2 years old?
He is 2 years old. He'll be 3 soon.
His name is?
Queso.
Queso.
Because we like cheese. Queso.
Ah, okay.
It's the Trump version of cheese.
I have 4 with interesting names. My oldest daughter, graduated Harvard, is Dakota. It's Dakota Sky, actually. Dakota Sky.
Beautiful.
Were you a hippie?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No. Just, I love the beautiful western skies, And my son, who I think is going to wind up in Stanford, he's a lacrosse stud, and his name is Hudson. He just turned 17.
Great name.
Of course, I grew up in New York, opposite the Hudson River. I was in Westchester County, so I always loved the Hudson. And I've got Remington Reagan Root, named after Ronald Reagan, who was born, popped out of my wife's stomach a day after the Reagan funeral. So it all happened at the exact same time, and the doctor had no idea that I was Republican or his name was going to be Reagan or anything like that, and he just happened to walk in after doing the surgery, and he comes in and says, "Your kid is a board politician." And I said, "Why do you say that?" He says, "Because his hand was sticking out of the cervix, shaking. And meanwhile, we were naming him Remington Reagan after Ronald Reagan. And then my youngest daughter just turned 9, and she is Contessa, a Churchill route after my hero Winston Churchill's her middle name.
Good
Lord. That's amazing.
Fantastic. So we got some interesting names.
Those are almost Southern names.
So between all these names, between your kids' names and my kids' names, it's kind of a wild, confusing thing going on, you know? There's no average names in this group, I'll tell you right now.
Well, my parents started it when they called me Marklen, and I always tried to figure out where it came from.
But where did Marklen come from?
I always thought...
It's just an Irish name, isn't it?
They got drunk one time and was like, Marklen. No, it's not an Irish name. It's not short for anything first in the middle.
But do people call you Mark?
No, just Marklen. It's always been that. And so it's just one of those things where after people meet me, they go, "Oh, it makes sense now." I don't know what that means.
Where did you two meet, by the way?
L.A. at the Buffalo Club in Santa Monica.
Ah, there you go.
She didn't think I remembered that, did you? We were at a friend of hers that she worked with at a birthday party. And we all got sat at this table across from each other. And she was sitting there staring at me, and we both went, huh.
That's interesting.
Standoff.
And how long after that was it before you were married?
When was that?
7 years.
7 years.
Oh, you waited a long time. You waited a long time. See, I'm a fast mover, man.
I wasn't in Vegas at that point, so I didn't have the quickie like, let's go to Rhino. No.
Right. I wasn't in Vegas for any of my marriages either, but I move fast. I move fast. Marriages, yeah. I move fast.
See, he has.
Let's talk a little bit about your career, Marklen, because you are a restaurateur today, but you're also a TV producer.
That is correct.
I've produced several reality shows, Ghost Adventures.
Tell me that. Really?
Travel Channel. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, I produced Ghost Adventures on Travel Channel, King of Vegas on Spike TV. I've got a show called Las Vegas Law on...
Is Ghost Adventures with the guys that live over in Summerlin?
Yeah.
Is that the one who drives the Lamborghini everywhere?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
you
him.
produced that?
That's him.
Zach. I'm in the middle of royalty right here.
Zach Baggins.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Zach showed up at my house kind of unannounced. He asked if he could come in with his girlfriend, total stranger, and the girlfriend was interviewing me for Fox 5 News. She was the anchor woman, and she said, "Can I bring my boyfriend in?" He's waiting in the driveway, and I said, "Okay, why is your boyfriend here?" He's a huge fan of yours, wants to talk to you, and came in my house and proceeded to tell me this story, this cockamamie story about... he was like, I think spinning records at weddings and bar mitzvahs and had a dream to chase ghosts all around the world and showed me this videotape chasing ghosts that he had used as like a sizzle reel. And I thought it was good. And next thing you know, my partner and I have a TV partner in New York named Michael Uden, and we brought it to Travel Channel. And it's been, I think now it's 13 seasons as the number one show on Travel Channel.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest shows made.
Yeah, well, it's like 175 episodes. I don't know. It's monstrous.
Carrie's such a paranormal freak. So everything.
So you like that show?
All about
you know
ghosts.
that show?
Oh, well, I've seen that show, yes. But
She's developing her own show about paranormal right now.
Yeah.
So this is something y'all can talk about.
Okay, all right, cool.
I'm obsessed with it.
All right, so Ghost Adventures and King of Vegas, I actually starred on and executive produced. Winner Take All, Find the Greatest Gambler in the World.
Shush,
and that was Spike TV.
That.
Spike TV, and then...
is this where they ended at Palms and it was put everything on red or black?
Well, that was a show, but it wasn't at Palms. It was at actually the parking lot of Bally's. We built our own casino.
Awesome.
We literally built $1 million casino in the parking lot of Bally's. Don't ask me why Spike TV didn't just rent Bally's casino instead of building a new one from scratch in the parking lot. But it's TV network's money, so I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was a liberal when it came to things like that. It's not my money. What do I care? All right, listen, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more. I want to talk about your restaurants.
Got it.
And your TV show is Gigolos, correct?
Gigolos.
And do you have others? You have other shows.
I have other shows.
All right, we'll talk about all of them. When we get back, $8 Route, War Now, 790. Talk Now Vegas, 98.1 FM, Palm Springs, and lots of stations all over the United States. Soon to come. War Now. The battle has just begun. All right, we're back. Wade Allen Root, War Now with Marklen Kennedy and Carey Kennedy, his lovely wife, and formerly big shot actress, and now, even more important, a great mom. And by the way, my wife, Deborah, was Miss Oklahoma, and then she was lead singer for Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and she had a reoccurring role on an ABC TV series. She was the Marilyn Monroe girlfriend of some mobster, and then met me and got her pregnant on the honeymoon, and that was the end of her career. So I seem to end beautiful women's careers. That's kind of my story in life. You know?
We have something in common.
But she then became a mom, and she has homeschooled our 4 kids, and obviously done a good job, because one of them graduated Harvard, the next one's headed for Stanford, it looks like. He just got his PSAT scores back, and he wasn't top 1%. He was 1. I mean, like, he's number 1 in America.
I mean, that's
like
amazing.
In the entire America.
And you homeschool them.
They're all homeschooled. Every one of my kids are homeschooled.
One in America, though, Marklen.
One.
I don't know if he really is one, but he's like the top 20 kids in the United States of America.
That's amazing.
You know, everything was a perfect score. You just don't get any better than what he got, which was the same score that Dakota got, which got her into Harvard.
Such smart
children. Was 1. The boys won.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of pressure.
And the one who's 12 years old, I think, is smarter than all of them. So he's the brainiac.
Good for you,
and
guys.
He's the little Wayne. I mean, the 12-year-old is so much like me. It is the most frightening thing in the world.
Does he have his own little microphone at home?
He never stops talking. You can't shut him up. And it annoys the hell out of me, and I realize that's what it's like being around me. Now I realize what other people are thinking about me. He never stops talking, and he thinks he knows everything better than everyone else. He really is me.
That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
All right. Let's talk about you. We're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about you. And so... Marklen, you own a new restaurant in my end of town, right? It's the Green Valley area?
In the Green Valley area.
It's called Carlitos Burritos.
Carlitos Burritos.
Now, funny enough, I didn't know that was the name of your restaurant. I just happened to yesterday. I work out every day, 2 hours a day, and I'm on the treadmill, and I can't work out for 2 hours without watching a movie, right? And I was watching Carlito's Way with Al Pacino.
Oh, yeah.
Is that where you got that name? Is that where you got that name? I've never heard that name before, Carlito. Where'd you get that
We
from?
had joked about putting a scale at the end of when somebody eats, and it would be called Carlito's Way, and you could weigh yourself and to see how many pounds you had brought in. Now, Carlito's Burritos had originally been residing over at Pecos and Patrick, and the chef owner there, a guy named Dave Samuels, that was doing fantastic for about 8 years. It was a 25-seat little restaurant that was just doing gangbusters. And he had built up enough of a following and so many great things coming out from the New Mexican flair of Hatch chilies, the green and red, and it's such a phenomenon. And so he was looking to try to find a different place. And so we met. I really loved his concept. Although I'm from Texas and I live with Tex-Mex, the Hatch chili is just, it's fantastic. You can put it on anything, milk, anything you want. And so we partnered up, and I brought in the backside of it. And so it's been where the old Sammy's wood-fire pizza was.
Oh, yeah.
Right across from Trader Joe's, behind.
So it's a much bigger place
Crab Shack. Yeah, now we're 225 seats.
You went from 25 to 225.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
and I'm sure it's busy every night, right? It's jammed on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, a lunch crowd is gigantic. It's really famous for breakfast burritos, so people get in there. And then we've got a...
You're open for all 3 meals? Is that the deal?
We'll open at 9:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So people get in there, and then the catering is the biggest thing, because especially now with the big game coming up.
All right, well, I have to check it out. It's my end of town.
Carlitos
Burritos. So it never had anything to do with Carlitos Way. Nothing.
No, not at all. But we've won 3 awards, or 3 nice little announcements that we got from the bests of. One was the best overhaul of a restaurant. The other was the Review Journal's Food Critics Top 10, and we were number 9.
Cool.
Mr. Chow was number 2. Then the other one
was number 1.
I don't know. What was number 1?
I don't know.
I love Mr. Chow's.
So do I.
The only thing about Mr. Chow's, the food is fabulous, but it's overpriced. I mean, you walk out going, are you kidding me? That was Chinese food.
Yeah.
I'm a Jew from New York. Chinese food costs $12. Why is this $320 for 4 people? Are you out of your mind?
You ever go to China Mama? China
Mama
Mama is probably the number 1 restaurant that's out here. It's this old Taco Bell on Spring Mountain in Jones. Just an insane place. This buddy of mine, Shing, introduced me to this. But one of the other restaurants, one of the other things that we were named was the best place to overeat. So,
but the food is reasonably priced.
It's reasonably priced. It's fantastic.
It's so crazy.
People absolutely go in there, and I've got a friend, Billy Gibbons at Azizi.
Yeah, of
Billy,
course.
every time he comes down, he absolutely loves it, and he always goes in and buys up all of their Hatch chili sauces they've got.
And TV career. Now you are a producer. You're not an on-screen guy.
Well, there's 2 sides. I am on screen right now on a show that just it premiered January 4th, but it's called Vivica's Black Magic. And
where is it?
last night, it's on Lifetime. So last night, when I emailed you and I sent you the picture.
He's the TV star in the family now? You've reversed
Yes.
roles?
Oh,
you
yes.
must be jealous. You've got to be jealous. Because I know the way actresses are. You know,
No, I'm so proud.
you're okay to share the limelight?
He's
It's
been
okay?
in the business
All right,
before.
so what did you do? Vivica's Black
Magic, and it's on Lifetime Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock. And the episode last night, the whole arc for the show this season is to get this dance troupe to Vegas for a residency. Mm-hmm. And so they've called me in.
Well, who's Vivica? Not Vivica Fox.
Vivica Fox.
Oh, it is Vivica
Fox.
From Independence Day.
From Independence Day and a million other films. And I actually just did a film with her not too long ago called Kinky, that Jean-Claude Lemaire, who was the creator on Black Magic. Okay.
No, keep talking, keep talking. So we're passing notes around. Like, I like it. This is like school days, you know.
They're playing Hangman.
I want to see that note. I want to see that. No, the mic just broke off in my hand. I'm a very intense guy, so when I used to play golf, I gave up golf because I used to shear the head off the golf club.
No, you didn't.
Not because it hit the ground or anything. Yeah. I'd hit the ball so hard it would shear off and fly at people, and people like thought they were going to get hurt. And I break things everywhere I go. I break things. Very intense. Remember, I was a monster back in football. Yeah. All I did, they would aim me like a missile and say, break that guy in half. And that's what I would do. I would aim to break him in half, you know?
The name for your show could also be Anger Management.
Yeah. Well, you know I wrote the book, Angry White Male.
God, I didn't know that. You're one-upping me on everything I'm doing.
Angry White Male. So tell me about Gigolos, though. That's the show you produce. You created it, I
created Gigolos, yes.
And that's about male gigolos in Las Vegas, right?
It's based off, now that I know, it's based off you. I didn't know that.
I'm not a gigolo. That's not true.
Well, I don't know. 5 wives, 30 kids, but you homeschool them all. There's something in there.
There's something in there. There's a show there, I'm telling you.
Well, the gigolos came
The show
about.
is Angry White Male. That's the show. I am the Angry White Male. I am the prototypical Donald Trump supporter, you know? That's the story.
I love it.
Yep.
There's no one else that's more perfectly prototypical. All right, so gigolos, these are real guys who are male prostitutes in Las Vegas?
Yes. Escorts. They'd like to be called escorts.
But are they screwing men or women?
No, straight male escorts.
I didn't know women hired escorts. I never heard that before.
I think it was the White Buffalo that
if
nobody
I'd known that when I was
it.
18, I would have had a different career.
I told you.
I didn't think women
ever based off you.
I didn't think women ever hired men. First of all, women don't have to hire men unless they're really homely. I mean,
well, or the fact that
they're very rich and they don't care.
They work a lot. Mm-hmm. You have people that, for some with disabilities, you have some that are working girls themselves, and they want to turn the tables, and instead of having other guys pay them, they want the power to be able to pay the guy.
So, what season are you in with Gigolos?
7.
7 seasons.
We finished season 6. Season 7 is
what network's it on?
Showtime.
Showtime.
The number 1 rated reality show on the network.
But sitting in this room, number 1 show on travel, number 1 show on Showtime. That is so cool.
And Rockstar.
I love it. This is a great little room.
The whole show concept came about that you'll like because when I was in the nightclub business here, a friend of mine was an agent at a big talent agency, and I went to him one day and I said, I got an idea for a TV show. Everything I see out here is strippers, hookers, prostitutes, dancers. They're all women. And there's this thing about the White Buffalo of male gigolos out here. And it had come because a really famous guy's fiance was coming to town, and she wanted for her bachelorette party, and she was the first person to ever ask, hey, can I get a guy? Do you know where any guys are? And I didn't know anybody. There was this guy in the club, kind of cheesy with the Versace shirt. His name was Rico, and he'd walk around, and I go, do you happen
a cheesy guy named Rico?
Yeah.
What a strange thing. And
I said, do you happen to know what if there's guys out here that do this? And he was like, yeah, that's what I do. I am the gigolo. And so that kind of turned around, and I went to the agent, and I said, here's the deal. Here's the show. And he says, this is the worst idea I've ever heard. Not today, not last year, ever. That's a terrible show. Nobody's ever going to buy it.
7 seasons, number
1 later. 7 seasons later, all the way down to it. And the guys are fantastic.
Everyone I said I had a
known.
ghost show was like, what are you, crazy? Are you? First of all, the whole key to life is, I wrote a business book that went to number 1 called The Power of Relentless. And the basic concept was success in life has nothing to do with how smart you are, how good looking you are. It has to do with how relentless you are. Yeah. Everyone hears no 1,000 times, and you've just got to overcome no. That's the whole point of life. And every idea I've ever had, everybody's pissed. Is that a word I could use on the air? I guess not. Everyone's peed on.
Can't use that word.
Everyone's peed on every idea I've ever had. But I just forge forward. Because the only thing that matters is, do I believe in it?
Right.
And if I believe it, I'll make it happen. So same thing. I mean, you can't come up with a show in Hollywood that will not get peed on.
Right.
There's no such thing.
And everyone that you do try to tell them, they go, that's already been done. Well, actually, it hasn't. Or how many ghost shows are there?
There's a couple now, but there weren't when this came out. Now there's a few because it was so
people
successful.
Like to replicate and go through. We've had some other imitators on gigolos that have tried to do different shows out there as comedy stuff, but it's amazing that people are so scared to make a choice. Right. But once they do, they want to either take credit for it or go, I knew the whole time it was going to do that.
What I hate is that all I ever hear in Hollywood is a variation of 2 things. Number 1, no one has ever done it because it can't work, or everyone does it, so we don't need another one.
Yeah.
So no matter what you do, you lose with. They always have an answer for you that you lose with. If 12 people are doing it, it can't work. Well, if 12 people are doing it, that's probably because it's successful, and number 13 might be better than the other 12.
Yeah.
If no one's doing it, maybe I had a better idea than everybody else. But they don't see things that way. It's the most negative place I've ever seen in my entire life.
And you just never take no for an answer.
Right. That's the whole key to life. In every business, not just Hollywood, everything.
Everything. Everybody said about restaurants, it's the hardest business in the world.
It is. But if you
failure
hit
rate
it,
is so high.
If you hit it, big time.
Yeah.
Is this your first restaurant?
First restaurant. We just passed our first year, and we survived, so that's great.
So aren't you aiming for more, I would assume?
I'd love to get more. There's a lot of opportunities that are out here now in town.
You started on the nightclub business, right?
I did.
Light Group? Yeah.
Open up Light
Famous
Group. All of the things in there, and with Light and Jet, and then
we have a lot in common. We were laughing because I have a lot in common with Marklen because I was in the nightclub business at the age of 23 years old with the hottest club in New York City. There were two clubs, Studio 54 and Xenon.
Wow.
And Xenon was wild. Oh, my God. Were my eyes open in that place. That was wild. I mean, you're talking someone who's never drank in his life. Not then. I mean, now. I've never drank in my life. And No, I've never done a drug in my life. But there was a bowl.
You are like
there was a bowl in the back room, in the VIP room.
Yeah,
People were coming out with white all over their face. But I never did it. And I always thought it was pretty cool because the most beautiful women in the world were coming in and out. And they'd go, don't you want to have a drink? No, I don't drink. Don't you want to do a little coke with me? No, I don't do coke.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow.
Yeah.
Can we go have sex? That was the greatest pickup line in the whole world.
Yeah.
You don't drink and you don't do drugs? Wow, you're different. So I thought it was just like the coolest thing in the whole world. So I just stuck with it for the rest of my life.
Good for you.
It's fantastic. The opportunities that come around is what happened with Vegas, is because I saw that every single person that I met was an opportunity for something else. And so I was kind of a collector and a maven. Every time I would meet people, I'd keep their business cards.
Let's go to a quick break. When we come back, the last segment, I want to talk about a little politics because you guys have some strong opinions about what's going on. You were Trump people, right? Trump people?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Big.
Good. Marklen, you're not getting excited about it. Were you a Trump person?
Absolutely. I was looking at Carey because she used to read the Limbaugh letter to the babies for bedtime stories. So.
My kind of woman. Yeah. Good woman. All right. We'll be right back. Wade Allyn, War Now. All right, Wade Allyn, welcome back to War Now, 790 Talk Now Vegas, 98.1 FM. We just have about 3 minutes to go before we head to the news. And so I want to ask Marklen Kennedy and his lovely wife, Carey, about politics a little bit. So you both got excited about Donald Trump early on. What was the deal, Carey?
Oh, early on. I was hoping that he would run. And then when he was making the announcement, I mean, I had to have the TV. I was ready to go. He came down the escalator. And I loved his announcement.
Where were you when I was doing these segments on my show called The Beautiful Women of Donald Trump? I had all gorgeous ladies from Vegas come on who I met at Trump rallies, but I didn't know you then. Did you ever come out to any of the rallies?
Yes, I did. I went to both of them. I went to the first one at Treasure Island, and it was amazing. I thought I got great seats. I was 7th row, and I thought he was just great. He was so funny. But the point is, his policies, for me, are fabulous. That is
Hasn't
exactly
the first 2
what we
weeks
need.
been wonderful?
It's been wonderful.
And
it's
liberals are
day.
freaking in Hollywood. Freaking,
because they're so ignorant. But that's the thing. The TV is portraying it more like it's the mainstream thought process, like these protesters. But everybody who voted for Trump, they see what he's done, they love it, and they want more.
Right.
They want more. Bring it on. Bring on the bands. Bring on this. We want it all.
Well,
everything that he said, we want.
And to Marklen, I'd say, they asked Donald Trump in front of business leaders a couple days ago, what's the future like? He said, I'm going to cut 75% of all regulations. Is that not music to your ears?
Music. Oh, it's amazing.
Marklen?
It's absolute music. It's, if he can...
Owning a restaurant, what do regulations mean? I mean, between Obamacare and how many different rules do you have to follow?
They make it
so
tough. Depending on which area in the city that you live in, right now it's even harder just to get new businesses started. So with him coming in, hopefully that's going to not only just change what we do here in Nevada, but across the entire country. And I think once people start to see the domino effect of the positivity that's going to be happening with his entire his office term that he's doing, it's going to be something that I think everybody's going to look back and kind of go, why was I so dumb?
Oh, yeah. Listen, the minute he got in, all the economists started saying how the projections for economic growth were higher and jobs were higher. Yeah. Why didn't they say that while he was running? The only guy saying that was me. I kept saying, he's our Reagan.
Yes.
He's going to make the economy explode. He's our Reagan.
Explode.
All right, we got to tie it up. We're headed to the news. We have been on with Marklen Kennedy and Carey Kennedy. He is a restaurateur and a TV producer, specifically of Gigolos. Many more to come. And she is a actress and now a wonderful mom of 2 beautiful kids and a beautiful gal. And we loved having you both here. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. It was fantastic.
Thank you.
All right.
We got to hang out.
Wade Allyn, War Now. We will hang out. Wade Allyn.
790 KVET, Winchester, Las Vegas. Talk now.